Hey everyone, what is going on? I'm Matthew Oliver with Stillwater Alchemy, and today we're going to be diving into this Cancer new moon. So, this is really exciting because the moon is the ruling planet of Cancer. So, given this is a Cancer new moon, it naturally will elevate and amplify the themes of what normally comes along during a new moon. So, naturally, just to recap, the significations of the moon can represent your physical body. It can also represent your home. It can represent themes around motherhood, mothering yourself, and what that means in terms of your own relationship to your body or your own relationship to your home, or how you are also cultivating the energy of the home, of the family. So these are all things that you can sit with as we go through this workshop. All right. And then, of course, with the new moon, we're starting a brand new cycle around these Cancerian themes for the next 28 days. Right. And so, what I want you to start thinking about, especially as we move forward with the nodes also switching on the exact same day as this Cancer new moon, and then also with Venus about to go retrograde, there's a lot that's going to be shifting in the next 3 months. And if we can plant some purposeful seeds and some clear intentions right now, it's going to make the road ahead that much easier. So I want to jump into the chart just so I can show everyone the transits and what is going on. So what's interesting about this new moon, and this will be a bit more intermediate in terms of the astrology knowledge, but I'll try and make sure it's digestible for everyone. So we can see here the sun and moon at 24 degrees of Cancer. The sun and moon are also making a very strong trine to Neptune retrograde. So there could be themes of you really moving forward towards your dream life, towards a fantasy, towards a desire that you really want. It's Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So this could be a feeling of that dream life, whatever that feeling is, of security, of love, of accomplishment, of pride. Noting that. And we're also going to be talking about dreams and the dream realm in this workshop. So keep that in mind. Now, the sun and moon are also making that sextile directly to Uranus and still within a sextile aspect to Jupiter. Now, you could have been experiencing this on Sunday or earlier on Monday, depending on your time zone. But I wanted to make note of this because the moon is exalted in Taurus. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So there's strong mutual receptivity here. For me, if we're talking about moon Jupiter in terms of sextile or trines or conjunctions, there is a fertility, there is giving birth, there is this beautiful, prosperous energy. If you know tarot, it's kind of like that Nine of Pentacles or the Empress card. There's a lot to reap here. And it may not happen right now. It may be the download that you're then going to be giving birth or cultivating this abundance in 6 months from now, right? Because that's how we work with lunar cycles. You plant the seeds, you collect the harvest, just like in our physical 3D realm. You plant your seeds in the garden in the spring, and then you harvest it 6 months later. This is no different. And this is where it gets a bit more intermediate. I was really curious with this as well, because we have the ascendant of this new moon chart at 0 degrees of Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. And so there's naturally going to be themes around love and relationships with this, of course. Cancer is a water sign. It's a cardinal water sign. So initiating thoughts and feelings of how we want to feel comfort, safety, and love are very likely in and around this time. Some of you may have already been reevaluating relationships or the themes of comfort, safety, and love, given that they're very tied to Cancerian energy throughout the past few weeks, given that we're at the tail end of Cancer season. Number two, we also have the MC at 0 degrees in this Cancer new moon chart. So the sun and the moon are co-present the MC at 0 degrees. And with any placement, whether it's an angle or a planet at 0 degrees, it really much is a clean slate in terms of newness coming through. So you could be experiencing new aspects of your career, wanting to shift careers, wanting new power in career. That could be very likely. And then the last thing I found interesting as well is that the nodes are also at 0 degrees. So they're just about going to be shifting into Libra and Aries right after this new moon. So don't be surprised if you find yourself amongst change during this new moon. And some of you might be reacting to change from your loved ones in terms of their entering new relationships, they're moving, they're starting a new job. So then, of course, that dynamic is going to affect you and the new level of that energy that you're experiencing. Of course, a relationship is going to change if they're now working more. How are you going to navigate that, you and your partner, you and your friend, you and a family member, right? And of course, we also have the sun and the moon opposing Pluto. So here's the thing, and we're going to be talking about this more in a brief moment, but just to give this as an introduction and a segue, if we're talking about sun moon opposing Pluto, our vitality, our emotions, the father and the mother, and power dynamics, and how that feels within our body. This goes back all the way to childhood, which of course is another Cancerian theme in terms of nurturing. How are we allowing conditioning and programming from our childhood interfere with our autonomy, with our power, with the feelings of safety, comfort, and love? So with that being said, I wanted to talk about 3 major themes that were coming to me very strongly, and I've already been hinting at them, but I love to repeat them over and over again because they're going to be in your mind to reevaluate during this Cancer new moon. So we have safety, comfort, and love. And just even focusing on comfort and safety right now. And this will be in the journal prompts in the description of this video, so you can go through that, but really identifying what does being comfortable mean to you physically, mentally, spiritually. What does the feeling of safety feel like for you physically, mentally, spiritually? And then the aspect of love, of course, this gets talked about a lot, but you get to reevaluate this, and lunations are perfect pit stops or markers to do some of this reflection, right? Given that the moon reflects the light of the sun, this is a time to really go inward and reevaluate even love and what you're wanting to experience physically, mentally, and spiritually. And going back to comfort and safety, even for me, I was thinking, can you have one without the other? Sometimes you can. So let's say you feel physically comfortable in a relationship. It's easy. You're getting what you want, but maybe you don't feel safe that the relationship is going to last because of abandonment wounds from childhood, or because maybe your last relationship ended after 3 years. You're now coming on the 3-year mark, and that's giving you anxiety that maybe this one won't last because all your relationships end after 3 years, as an example. So maybe you're feeling comfortable, but are you really feeling comfortable if you're having all these thoughts of maybe not feeling safe? Example 1. Example 2 is maybe you feel safe, but not comfortable. So you're feeling safe, but you're not getting as much money as you want. Maybe your partner is slacking, they're just playing video games all day. You're like, yeah, maybe I'm comfortable in this, but I want to grow. I want to expand. Or I'm feeling safe. I want more comfort. I want more luxury. I want more resources in this relationship. So then truly, is that one feeling of safety if you don't have the comfort? And I know this might seem like, what is he talking about? But what I'm alluding to is that more often than not, safety and comfort go hand in hand. And when you really be honest about yourself, with your own body, with your relationship, with your community, then you get to really understand what you need to feel loved, what you are wanting for yourself to give that love. Because one of the shadow sides of Cancer energy, or those that possess a lot of Cancerian energy, is giving, 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 but then feeling desiccated or dried out or hurt that they're not getting that in return. And that can be said for all water and earth signs, in my opinion. So that's where we need to be honest about what we need to feel safe and what we need to feel comfort, so that the love is always overflowing within ourselves and that we're not seeking it out of other people based on programming and conditioning that happened when we were little. Yes. So how can we remedy this, or how can we implement structures and resources to support ourselves? It is a daily practice. It is the thoughts that we think. It is the words that we say. It is these thoughts and words that then attract the relationships that we have. And of course, in any relationship, no matter how loving, no matter how safe, no matter how comforted we feel, there are ways to elevate it. You, of course, are going to have that death and rebirth phase in every relationship, in aspects of your life, depending on how often you want that to happen or how much you want to grow and expand. For me, given that Venus is about to retrograde starting July 22nd, everyone that I've been talking to lately, whether it's at social gatherings, in my one-on-one consults with clients, with friends, everyone is evaluating relationships and what they need to feel comforted, safe, and loved. So this is just a perfect new moon to evaluate that and to see where you're giving yourself those themes. How are you comforting yourself? How do you feel safe in your body, in your home, at work? And how is this affecting love that you experience in all aspects of your life? If you don't feel safe going to your boss and asking for promotion, or to showcase your talents, or to showcase how hard you've worked, then that might be a reflection of authority figures, or you not feeling safe to approach your parents to ask for an allowance or to ask for some luxurious thing, right? Like this all often goes back to childhood, not always, but often. So identifying that, understanding that you are not that child anymore, that you are an adult that can make adult decisions or seek out resources to support you as an adult, that you don't need to answer to your parents or to a guardian or anyone from that past, so that in this moment right now, whenever you're watching this, you can have whatever reality you want. You can have whatever level of love you desire, but you just have to be honest with yourself and see where the fear is of taking a risk to acquire more safety in relationships, that you're able to have those conversations maybe when a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner isn't messaging you back or isn't showcasing you the type of love that you want, so that you expressing your feelings doesn't mean they're going to abandon you or to leave. That by having these beautiful conversations, you are feeling safer to be more vulnerable, which is going to make you feel more comfortable in the relationship to do that again whenever you're feeling hurt or unseen or unloved, which of course is going to expand love in every aspect of your life, because you know that it's safe for you to express your feelings and to be vulnerable in any other area. But if you never do it, if you never put yourself out there, and that also goes into your dating life, into your career, into your family, you need to start cultivating proof that this new belief, in this case around comfort, safety, and love, is going to be supported. Here's another example. So I always know that God, Goddess, Source, Universe is supporting me every moment of every day. Are there moments where I have doubt or that I am frustrated? Of course. That is not my constant, though I always know I'm safe and supported. So when I first moved here to Vancouver, of course, you're building a new community, new friend group, new everything. And so one day I'd gone to the grocery store, like my local grocery store, picked up a whole bunch of things. And then it was like 2 hours later, it's like, I forgot this one thing that I really need to make the meal for tonight. Very Cancerian. So I was like, okay, I'll go back to the grocery store, just pick this up, maybe get a few other things to stock up. So I go back to the grocery store and I bump into this beautiful gal who I did promo modeling with in Toronto. And I knew that she lived here in Vancouver. I just hadn't reached out. And we're like, hey, I was throwing a party. I invited her to come. And now we've hung out a couple of times. I was like, oh yeah, great. Another friend that we just get to pick off where we left off, even though I haven't seen her in 5 years. And I share this story because you can never miss out on certain things if you have trust and faith. And even for me, I was like, just go back to the grocery store and grab those lemons. You need the lemons to make the dish that you need. Then I wouldn't have bumped into her, and then I wouldn't have been able to pick back up this relationship that I had from 5 years ago, thus creating another friendship, another feeling of safety, another feeling of comfort with my relationship, with my intuition, with source energy, that everything always works out for me, that I'm always being supported, that I'm always winning, that I'm always expanding. And sometimes we can rebuff those intuitive downloads or synchronicity, being like, oh yeah, that just happens all the time, where it's like, that's not a big deal. Of course it's a big deal. If you know that you have this heavenly spiritual energy supporting you at all times, then nothing in the 3D really can throw you off, because you know there's such a higher power kind of pulling the strings and moving everything along to help you. And I mean, if you're watching this and obviously you believe to some extent, or at least you're curious about the power of the moon or the power of astrology or the power of these transits and how they can help you. Now, moving on to that moon, sun, Neptune trine that we spoke about earlier, I got a DM from a past client saying that they had a dream on a very specific date that they were giving birth to another child. Now, this client had no intention of having another child, but it was so visceral, so real that what could that mean? Now, we've talked about this before in past content, but it's a good review in terms of moon, Neptune transits. So given that the moon is making a trine to Neptune retrograde, a trine being a very free-flowing, favorable aspect is how two planets communicate with one another, that your dreams in the dream realm can be very activated. And I told this client, just because you are giving birth to a child doesn't mean you're physically going to give birth. It can mean that you are giving birth to a new energy, to a new opportunity, to a new hobby, to a new relationship. It doesn't mean that's automatically to be a child. And this is something that if you want to start cultivating that spiritual connection to the other side, to feel safe, more comforted, and more loved in that relationship to the divine, that implementing that with this new moon would be a fabulous idea. And you don't need to ask a healer for advice. If you feel called to and you are paying them for their time, of course, do so. But once you really sit down and break that dream down, especially if it's so visceral, you can often tell what it means. And there are different levels of dreams, which we're not going to go in depth in this workshop, but there can be prophetic dreams where you are predicting or having sights of the future. There can be venting dreams where there are things in your life that you're not speaking on, that you're not acting on, that you're working through in the dream realm. There can be ascension dreams where you're now able to see different parts of your life or feeling what's coming through to give you more faith that the work is working. So it's not quite a prophetic dream, but you're able to see and to feel things that you're calling and manifesting to give you further affirmation that these things are coming true. There are astral projection dreams where you are now like seeping into other dimensions or other places in the world. The last thing I want to say with this is that you can ask, pray to God, Goddess, Source, Universe. In this case, you could pray directly to the moon, to the goddess, given that we're in the Cancer new moon, for a clear download or for a change in perspective or for you to connect to a past ancestor, a past relative. That way, you're using this beautiful lunar activation in strong aspect to Neptune to gain more, maybe security or validation, or just giving you that extra boost that you need along your journey. I know a couple of weeks ago, I was going through a really hard time personally. There was a lot of things in my life that I could not control and that I wasn't getting answers to. And I had a dream that I was in a diner, like a kind of like an old school diner with my Baba, who has now passed. And I just remember like crying on her lap. And I was just like, oh, like it's so hard. She was like comforting me. She wasn't really saying much, but she's like, I'm always, it was kind of like the energy of I'm always here for you. And then I woke up and I like immediately start crying because I love when I get to have dreams with my Baba, because then it's like they're not ever truly gone. They're always here to support us. So I wanted to bring that up because especially when there are things that are challenging in the physical 3D realm, in your day-to-day life, having these experiences of your intuition blessing you, when you have really beautiful dreams that are giving you that extra encouragement, that extra push along the way in the right direction, then you know that you're supported in such a way that you know that you can manage and win everything in the 3D realm. Because that power, that miraculous power, that heavenly power, that God, goddess power, in my opinion, is the most powerful. Humans, of course, are powerful beyond recognition. But that power on the other side. So if you feel called to start working with your dreams, to start trusting your intuition, this would also be a beautiful lunation to do that. The final thing I'll say with working with dreams, with prayer, is that your evening routine, let's say the hour before you go to bed, no screens, doing things to calm your mind, your nervous system, whether that's taking a bath, a shower, maybe you're spending more time on self-care, like massaging your body, doing your skincare regime, maybe you're doing some light stretching, yoga, journaling, breath work. if you get into a routine where that is your norm, where you're not scrolling on your phone, where you're not watching TV, where you're not doing all these things, it is going to exponentially support you in your own day to day, in your own spiritual practice to feel safe, to feel more comforted by the fact that you were always supported, to feel more love from the universe, which is unending. The final thing I'll say here is that that connection to source, to God, goddess, universe, you can never use it up. Like it's literally available to you every single day. And the fact that people don't just sit, give themselves a moment and ask for a redirect, ask for a sign, ask for love, ask for a miracle. I don't know if it's because they don't trust it. It's because that they think it's too good to be true, that they just don't make the time. It's very strange to me when people don't pray or to ask for support from a never ending support system. So if that's you and you know that it's worked, or you know that's worked in the past, and you don't make time for it, ask yourself why you're not making time for heavenly, miraculous support and love every single day. Because that is kind of like the eternal mother, right? Whether you believe in one God, multiple gods, goddess energy, goddess activation, the planets all together, there's so many sources of divine love and power that can bless you each and every day. So please, 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 if it feels called, to trust that to acquire more of these Cancerian energies that are going to support you exponentially, not only for the next few months, but your entire life, of course. So we're going to do a nice, easy meditation to close off this workshop. So whenever you're ready, I invite you now to close your eyes, uncrossing any limbs, feeling relaxed in your body, taking a nice deep breath in and exhale, letting go of the day, unclenching your jaw, relaxing your shoulders, and taking a moment to give gratitude to your body, your brain, your mind, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your lungs, your heart, your digestive system, your kidneys, all of your bones and muscles, every part of your body that allows you to feel safe, comforted, and loved. All these parts of your body are supporting you every second of every day, wanting you to succeed, wanting you to grow, wanting you to be the best version of yourself. It always starts with us and the love and time and work we put into that energy will manifest always into our external reality. Taking a nice deep breath in and exhale. Now, thinking about these three words: comfort, safety, love. Choose at least one and sit with that word. Sit with what it means to you in this moment and the feeling you wish to feel around this energy moving forward. Get as specific as possible and allow that feeling to fill up your entire body, thinking about all the parts of your life that you're going to implement this energy, this newness, this expansion. Even sitting with the word expansion and seeing the word that you chose marry with the word expansion to see what intuitive downloads come through. Whether it be safety, expanded, comfort, expanded, love, expanded. Feel this expansion move through your body. You may feel certain parts of your body tingling. That's perfectly normal. Allowing yourself to deeply settle into your body as this energy moves through, continuing with the breath. Now, pull your energy down to your heart and imagine an infinity symbol on top of your heart. The love that you get to experience, the love that you give to others is infinite. Love, being the most powerful frequency, will continually expand in your life from this point forward. There's no going back. No more permanent feelings of doubt or resistance. Tuning into your heart and noticing if there are certain colors, images, or symbols coming through. Where right now in your life do you wish most to feel this infinite possibility from your heart chakra, from manifestation, from wealth, from health? Calling that in right now into your body, into this expanded frequency that you've been cultivating. Do not hold back. Ask for whatever you want, so long as it's grounded in emotion that you can feel and believe. Taking one more deep breath for a count of 4. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale, 2, 3, 4. Allowing your body to integrate everything that you've just done. This easy and simple practice can be done as often as you'd like. Allow a smile to creep across your face. That was easy, you think. Now, coming back to your body, recalling where you are. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, the energy of ease, how we ended that meditation, that was easy, you think. You think. What we think, what we believe dictates everything in our day-to-day. You can think something, and then you can believe it. Once you believe something, others' opinions or projections most likely won't deter you unless you allow them to. So moving forward with the journal prompts, with that meditation, with everything you've learned here, you're cultivating new beliefs, which will then attract new experiences to affirm these new paradigms, to give you more confidence in what you are doing and moving through. And that process just gets to repeat every single time. So I'm wishing you all a beautiful new moon activation, and I shall talk to you very soon for all the new transits that are approaching, including that nodal switch into Aries and Libra and the Venus retrograde, which more content, more offerings will be dropped very soon, okay? So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.